Welcome, y'all, to Equi-Tea Talk. Super excited to be diving into our second episode today. Episode 2. My name is Denise Mitchell. I'm our coordinator of student success and equity here. Also part of our Pride Client Committee. Also part of our Access Disability Services team. Supporting our Dream Resource Center. And all the things that are equity, to be honest.
And I'm Maddie Mendivas. I'm a student success advisor here at Varsity Community College in the Special Programs Department. My main cohort of students is the CalWorks team.
Right, and we're super excited to dive on in. But before we do, Maddie, tell us what we're sipping today in your girl's French press after that Lipton fiasco.
So first and foremost, I know, our little Lipton fiasco that we had to do last week, we got an actual French press today. And in the French press that is actually in our teacups, it's Celestial Seasonings Tension Tamer Tea. It's non-caffeinated, so it's easy. Okay. The tension, it's not going to get us on the go because we're not on the go.
Right.
We're here steeping in steep conversations. That's what we're doing today.
Maddie said, Anissa doesn't need any more energy.
No, she's not.
Because I've been bouncing off the walls right now. I'm a caffeine-free girly, so that works.
But first and foremost, before we actually dive into our let's start a little fun conversation. But if you had to karaoke a Disney song, what would it be and why?
I've actually been thinking of this, and the only answer is a medley, like a 5-part medley, if possible, opening with Zero to Hero from Hercules, as long as I have at least 4 backup dancers and singers.
I'll be one of them.
Right.
For sure.
I don't know if that's actually copyright, so let's, we might need to cut that out. But that definitely would be mine. Segueing into like some Latinx vibes, so like Un Poco Loca, okay. Where to retwist that from Coco, Peep the Bag. And then I think I'd close with Dig a Little Deeper. I don't know if you guys have seen Princess and the Frog. Super slept on movie. You know that part where she's like, let in the light, children. That literally would be my end spotlight, and then like Rain or something like that,
Okay, so for me, I'm such a 90s, kid. Like I grew up with I call it classic Disney. When Disney was at its like golden era.
Buena Vista.
Yes, Buena Vista. Very much that. Mine is Eye to Eye, the song that's in the Goofy movie.
Oh, choreography on point.
Who's sung by Tevin Campbell. Mm-hmm. Kevin Campbell is one of my favorite 90s R&B singers. So yes, that's remember copyright girl. We can't be singing.
Right. I'm sorry.
But so we, now that we're warmed up, let's pour into today's conversation. We're actually going to have some special guests. We actually listened to you guys in that little survey. Ms. Lisa created a little survey. So we actually paid attention, and you guys wanted some guests talking about mental health, talking about our foster youth program. So especially today, we are going to introduce our guests. We're actually going to pop in these chairs on 1, 2, 3.
Pop!
Wow, look, they're right here.
It's like magic. Anyways, so today we're going to be talking about breaking barriers, highlighting some breakthroughs with our special guests. So I'm going to let Maddie introduce our...
So one of our guests today, I consider a silent superstar here on campus. Her name is Brianne Garcia. She's also a student success advisor with me down in the K building in special programs and services. Her main cohort is our Next Step program, which services our former foster youth here. She's not only a first-generation college student, she herself is a former foster youth herself, first-gen student. So all the things that we were talking about here on the Equity Podcast. So this is Brianne Garcia.
Welcome, Brianne. And then right here we have Sunshine Mar. Forgive me if I leave out any of the many things that you're involved in on our campus. Shades of Sister student, as well as Latinx Society member. Forgive me if I add on or leave anything out at this point, because she does so much, a real advocate on our campus, from her role as our ASG Commissioner of Equity and Diversity, to a Shades of Sister student, to our Next Up former foster youth, to all the things with Latinx Society, really making a change on our campus. And I think this is your first year, right?
Yes.
And she's already, she didn't dip a toe, but she just
dove in. That's crazy.
She doing the backstroke already.
But I think that's very impressive, because you don't see a lot of students being so actively involved because they're so concerned with how to navigate the college first off. But you dove straight in, which I think is very impressive, which is what we're going to do today. We're going to get to know Brianne and Sunshine just a little bit more. But so as Brianne, we're going to start with you. As someone who's navigated higher education, what's one barrier you faced in higher ed, and how did you deal?
Well, I think former foster youth, you deal a lot with imposter syndrome. I still deal with that. It's probably my biggest barrier, though, it's having the self-doubt. So higher education, I just felt like I didn't belong in it. Well, I amazing sunshine that I went down the wrong path for one. So when I came back, I was already kind of older. I was 27 when I started going to school here. And so, yeah, imposter syndrome is the biggest thing for me. How do I deal with it? I don't really know. I still struggle with it. Like I said, today, this is something that's off for me. But I feel like just the staff and the people at Barstow Arlington help me a lot. Because you have a whole team behind you building you up, and you start to feel like people are. So I'm working on it.
Okay.
Thank you for your honesty. Honestly, that was going to be one of our follow-up questions. Like, how do you think those challenges help develop you into the advisors that you are today and how you're showing up for our students, you know?
Yes. I think that I just tried to, like, encourage them like I was encouraged. You know, I think that all my students are amazing, like top tier, just the best. The fact that they're defining all the, like, statistically, it's 2 to 6% of Foster youth will get an associate. So to see my students, it's just like amazing. Like, I'm glad I can be a part of it.
But that moment that you just had right now, and I work with you on a daily basis, so seeing you just every time you talk about the students that you mainly look after on the Next Step program, you have like a light in your face. Like, I know sometimes you may be a little uncomfortable talking about your own self, but when you talk about your students, you just light up. And I know that you're behind them 110%. So just seeing you light up about your students, I know you love coming to work every day. Mm-hmm. You love the work that you do behind the Next Step program. So I think it really does speak to everything that you just said. But also, you know, how your students have you to kind of look to and guide and everything like that. Was there someone who believed in you when you weren't sure that you believed in yourself?
Barstow College, SPS. I started as a student worker. And I avoided eye contact. I didn't want to deal with anybody. Like, I was very sheltered. I was just there for an income, like, to be honest. But SPS, like, completely, there's not one person that I've met on this campus that is not for me. Still to this day, like, not a student anymore, you know? And I want to do that for my students. Like I said, like, that encouragement means the world to somebody that, you know, you end up in foster care because life wasn't easy. You know what I mean? So that encouragement from everybody on this campus, like, means the world.
I remember when I actually first started full-time here, I was an SPS secretary, and one of my, like, favorite parts about the day was bothering Brianne. Just because, again, like, you were very, like, a little shyer, and I just, those are my type of people. I feel like extroverts are like, you're mine now. We are going to kiki, we're going to talk, we're going to have a great time. I'm like, same thing with Sunshine, right? We identify them, and I want to personally say it's been a pleasure watching you blossom and, like, turn into, like, an actual beacon for our students. So I think that's a really awesome thing, you know? This next one's for Sunshine. So obviously college can bring a lot of very unique challenges when you're balancing being all the things, right? And all the roles that you're doing that we're not going to list off because we'll be here all day. What's been one of the biggest barriers you've had to push through, and what specifically or who has helped you get through that?
One of the biggest things that I definitely had to step through was I would always force myself to be on a strict timeline, and that if I didn't do like everything on time, there was something wrong with me, and that, like, I had to be this big, great thing. And just, I really had to learn how to force myself, how to prioritize myself. And because when I was, like, overachieving, it did not go great for my mental health. So really just learning how to, damn it, I forgot the word. Like, balance myself was probably one of the biggest things. My friends really helped me because it's really nice to know that you always have someone to talk to. And my community gives me a purpose.
Awesome.
That is really great. That was actually part of my follow-up question that you just said, because you mentioned your friends. What exactly have your friends or maybe some of your classmates, like, played in that community role for you to kind of keep pushing?
It makes me try to better myself. That way I can present in a way that makes people want to better themselves. And that's the biggest thing, is that I want people to be happy and I want people to be supported. And so me supporting other people, it gives me something to look forward to. And then also getting that support back from people is something that's really important.
And I think that's a great example of the ABCs of just life, right? Like, we can't preach things that we ourselves are not doing. So you your example is just leading by example, right? Like doing the best that you can, supporting yourself, supporting others. That's awesome. And so we talked about like some of the push throughs, right? But how do you celebrate, like when you're like, how do you give yourself your own flowers when you get through those things?
I go home with my dog and I will bake for myself. I will eat an entire batch of brownies by myself in one sitting and just put on TV, just let myself be.
That's awesome. Do you have any favorite shows or movies?
I know every single song and word and choreography dance to Hamilton. I love the 2019 cast of The Waitress with Shoshana Bean and Jeremy Jordan.
Okay.
I recently started watching The Unbreakable Kimmy.
When she's like trapped in a bunker.
Yes.
Oh my God, what is the male's name on that show? Titus?
Yes.
I try to embody him every day at work.
Titus is like my spirit animal.
Yeah.
It's the scene where he takes off his sunglasses just to reveal another pair of sunglasses.
See that I'm a beehive, right? So the odes to Beyonce.
Absolutely.
We love that. That's awesome.
For your brownie mix, though, how much chocolate do you put in? Because a little is not like a little to me. You need to put a lot.
I use a box and 3 eggs.
Period. That's
Ingredients down below. No, I'm just kidding.
So for Brianne, on to our next question. As you know, anyone who's gone through their undergrad with like stressors or anything like that, what's one moment in your undergrad that was kind of like an eye-opener or like a breakthrough for you during your undergrad?
So when I was a student worker at SPIS, it was my first English class. And like I said, I was not full effort at all. I know it was full of self-doubt. So my last final paper was not going to look. So the instructor emailed me and he's like, I'm going to give you until 5 to resubmit. So that way you don't fail the class. Because for me at that point, C's get degrees. Like I wasn't trying to fit no extra. But and I let the director at the time know, and like my boss and like other staff members, like, hey, I'm probably gonna have to leave early. Like if I don't do this paper, I'm gonna fail the class. And when I tell you, like everybody down to the director sat with me and was like, let's figure it out. Like let's find sources. Let's do this. Let's do that. That showed me that they genuinely care. And then I think it made me start to care. You know what I mean? Like it was just like, okay, these people are in it for real, to where they couldn't just dismiss me like, okay, yeah, you can leave early, like it's fine. But like instead they knew that I was like stressed that I was gonna fail that class. So yeah, I think just knowing that people genuinely care about your education made me genuinely care about my education.
I feel like that was like Squad's Mission Impossible moment, right? Yeah. It's like there's 10 hours on the clock right now. We need to do this, team. So
it was amazing. Like everybody came together and was like, okay, Brianna, let's help you do this. So that was very like, that was a breakthrough. Like it showed me that like, this isn't just a college, these some staff members. Like they say, it's like they genuinely were like, okay, we're going to help you pass the stats. Period. That was dope. Yeah.
We love that. So I think that was a really good insight in how it shifted your perspective as a student. But do you think that moment did anything for you, like seeing yourself in the grander scheme of higher education?
Yeah. Like I think it made me want to be that. Like I want, and I am that now, you know what I mean? It took me a lot to get there, but yeah, like I want to like show students that I care and like I can be there for them just like they were there for me. Like give away what's been given to me. So yeah, it's very much dope.
And if that moment hadn't happened, do you think you'd be where you are today?
No, I really don't. Like I said, I started college because I'm not gonna hold you. It was like the financially, and somebody was like, "Oh, I can help you be a student worker," and I'm like, "Okay, a little job, like you know what I mean." That's really what it's all about. And like I said, like the care shown just showed me different. Like I wanted, you know what I mean?
Change the course.
Yeah, like if I would have, had they dismissed me, like, okay, you'll figure it out, I don't think that I would fail English, and then I would have been like extra hard on myself for failing, and it just would have like spiraled from me.
Now this one, we heard about Brianne's breakthrough moment, right? She's breaking free, y'all. Now this one's for you, Sunshine. What's been a breakthrough experience for you? Like maybe something that made you feel like empowered, seen, valid, you know?
One of the biggest breakthrough experiences for me, I know like it sounds like, oh, everyone goes through this, but it was my high school graduation. It really just let me know that, you know, like I went through it. There was a time where I wasn't sure if I was going to make it to my high school graduation. So just knowing that I was able to do that was really validating that all my hard work paid off.
That's awesome.
Was there a person or a program that created that moment for you, for that realization?
For starters, my teachers. I was homeschooled, so I had one, but she got fired. So it's Miss Freimeyer and Miss Merkett, and they were both really great in supporting me. And then also, before I was homeschooled, I was in San Diego, and there was an intern, Miss Chloe. She was interning to be a school therapist, so she was really nice. And she came to my show because I was in Clue. And she came to my show and she brought me flowers and a note, and I still have that note.
Oh, that's awesome. And Clue is actually one of my favorite films of all time.
Same.
So you just got 10 times cooler. How do you think your younger self would see you now and the trail that you're blazing here at BCC?
I think she'd be really happy.
Okay. That's it. She'd be happy. Live, laugh, love.
So this one actually is for both of you. How have your lived experiences shaped how you show up for your students now, or show up for students now? You're involved with many organizations where you have your peers, and obviously you have your next up students. So we'll start that with you.
Wait, can you say?
Yeah, sure. How have your lived experiences shaped how you show up for students now?
I think being former foster youth and dealing with former foster youth is very helpful. In a way, I understand most of my students. I know all my students by name. I would try to get to know them. And I don't know. I think if you've never lived that, you're not gonna 100% know. You can have compassion, and most people do. You know what I mean? Empathy. But when you have somebody that has been through it as well, it's a breath of fresh air. When I talk to some of my students, they're literally will only come to me no matter what it is. And I feel if I didn't walk that path or understand those feelings that come with those decisions, foster care is not a decision that you make. You know what I mean? It just happens. And I feel it's easier to talk about those things with somebody that understands those things. It's not something you could just, personally, I didn't want to tell anybody that I was former foster youth. I didn't want to say it on here either. But if it helps my students, you know what I mean? I've lived your experience. I want to help you. I'm there for you. I'm here for that. You know what I mean? And I couldn't be here for them if I didn't have those lived experiences.
And just to kind of give Bran more flowers in this podcast, she actually designs the program after those lived experiences. No, we shouldn't be doing this. We should be doing this. That way it's, work with intention, rather than just giving us a broad spectrum of what we can do for the Next Up program. And I know that's what you have your Tea with Bree series, which is phenomenal for her students. It's a little hangout area that we have for our students, and it's only for the Next Up students. They know they can come in and grab what they need, whether it's school supplies or snacks, and it's only for them. They have their own special area, which is what it should be. Every program is designed the way it should be to serve that specific cohort of students. And she goes above and beyond, and the Next Up further, pun intended, Next Up. But that way she goes above and beyond for those particular students. And I feel it's working from my outside observation.
And I think because you keep it so real and candid, it's easier to make better informed decisions. You're not one of those advisors that it's just based off of your experience, right? And that's what the program is. You're taking feedback and tweaking here and there. And I think that's what it's all about, to really serve our students. So Sunshine, tell us, how did your lived experience, affect how you're showing up for students now and all the advocacy roles that you have?
Piggybacking off of Bree a little bit, just living in foster youth and seeing the ways that different things affect people. A lot of people don't want to reach out for help or don't feel like they deserve to be helped. So just making sure that I'm there, and I make sure that people always know that I'm always here, and that I always advocate for people, especially because a lot of foster youth is queer. So being true to you and focusing on mental health is definitely great. Just let people know that there's resources, there's community out there for you, there's help out there for you.
That's awesome. And I think again, honing on that, take space, make space. There might not be a seat at the table for us every single time, but who says that we can't pull up a chair? And I think that's what you guys are doing in life. So that's awesome. Brianne, this question is for you. So how do you balance being, real with our students, especially when it comes to like the C's get degrees or like, I just want that class type thing and it's all right. How do you balance like being real and then like still supporting them and being empathetic and,
Well, obviously now I know better. We don't go by C's get degrees, but I think that it's like, how can I help you do that? Like, how can we make sure you pass this class? Every student is different. There's some students where I could tell them like, hey, like you're messing up big time. Like we gotta fix it. You know what I mean? But then there's some students where they're genuinely trying. You know what I mean? And they need tutoring services or they need access, but they're embarrassed. They don't want to go to tutoring and they don't want to go to access. And so I think that that's probably where I'd hit the most like a lull. Because it's like, come on, like, I'll go with you. We'll go together. Like, I think just informing them, like, it's okay. Like, you know what I mean? If you're trying, just put forth your effort. I feel like right now, all my students are trying. Like, so I'm grateful for that. But for the most part, I feel like I can be honest. And I can, let's do it together type thing instead of, like, you need to get it together. Mm-hmm. Let's get it together. How can we fix this? I have a student that I offered for her to come sit in my office with your laptop and like, I'll do my work, you do your homework and we'll bust it out. Sometimes you just need that accountability. So I feel like every student is different, but for the most part, like showing that you're willing to go in it with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you're giving them community that's like anchoring them. Like I know I have friends that we're in different master's programs, right? But there are days where we're like, girl, let's get a bottle of wine and some food, and we're just gonna sit in silence and do our stuff. And that really does help, like it just makes you feel like I'm doing this by myself. I might be writing this 10-pager solo dolo, but I got community with me.
Fighting for our life together.
Right. Yeah. Keeping our head above water together. I love that. So for Sunshine, what do you wish more students knew about overcoming, certain challenges in college?
I can't stress this enough, but that there are resources, there's communities. If you don't think that you're being represented, represent yourself, because chances are there's another person who's exactly like you who does not feel represented, and just being vocal.
You're talking about a lot of like facets earlier in the conversation about like the identities that you possess as a student. So what is something people often get wrong about students with your background?
A lot of people think that like I'm trouble or that I'm like some kind of like prodigy or like smart person, and I'm really not. I try to get by and I'm trying my best in school. A lot of people don't think that I struggle because I graduated early, but I do, and I really wish that people would stop trying to put themselves on a pedestal and like try to compete with me, because it's not a competition. We're all just trying to get by.
And shifting the conversation back to Brianne, if you can go back and give your younger self one piece of advice about navigating college, what would it be?
Exactly what Sunshine said. There's resources, there's programs, there's people. Like when I first started, I was so quiet. Like if I didn't work in SBS, I would not have been a part of SBS. I'm too shy, I'm too nervous to go. But Sunshine's great at that. Even with Brady, I have a new student. And she pulled up a chair and was like, let me show you all this stuff. Like
the binder?
Yes, the binder.
We need to have binders all around campus, like Sunshine, because that is so helpful.
That is, like, I think the biggest thing that I would have wished I would have told, like, knew about back then. Or, like, had somebody like Sunshine or, like, you guys, like myself, like, any staff member here to be like, hey, like, let's talk about all this and, like, how we can help you. Like, I feel like I would have gotten way more, not only help but support. Like,
So what specific advice would you give to maybe a new student with that similar type of background, or that thinks the odds are stacked? Like we all have lived experiences that give us a little bit of trauma here and there, and we're navigating things as whatever we are. So what kind of game would you give them?
I don't know. Let me think. Like,
I think just from watching and observing you, I don't think you have like a basic roadmap. You really do tailor it to the student.
So too, I think, just like, I try to let them know through a smile and a hello mean the world to me. I would think you're the nicest person if you walk by and say hi, hello, and smile. Or another thing I try to do is learn my students' names and all my students by name. So if you walk in somewhere and they're like, hey, Brianna, how are you? Like, you're more apt to be like, hey, like, I'm struggling with this, can you help me? Like, or how can I? So I feel like even just trying to be like personable down to like the way I dressed, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm nobody above the student here, you know what I mean? We're the same. So I feel like being personable with those students helps them. Advice, I don't know, because I feel like everybody's different. Like, for me, like, it was like you or Nora, like those people that were just like very like loud, and like I gravitated towards that. Not in a bad way.
You see how I look at the camera right now?
That confidence. I gravitated towards that because I didn't have that. That's what I lacked. So like, just to try to be like very open and personable with them to where they think so they can come to me. But advice, I really
I like how you even said how you dress, right? Like I myself try to do that. Like I wear a lot of like pop culture shirts or like band tees, and you know, like that opens the door to conversations all throughout campus. Like I was actually walking across campus the other day, and a student was like, "Is that Fleetwood Mac on your shirt?" I was like, "You know it's Stevie Nicks, maybe." And we started talking. Like I thought we were about to bust down some songs. So I think that's a really awesome way to be more approachable. Like we don't have to be like suit and tie every single day, especially in this 105-degree heat. Who has time for that? You know what I'm saying? Sunshine, what about you? What advice would you give to somebody that might think that the odds are stacked and it's not doable?
Always make sure that you ask for help before you're like drowning, or like before you think that it's too late. Just as soon as you need help, get help. Like you're not a burden. Like there's people out there, and just try to find your people, most importantly. Take breaks, give yourself grace, just make sure that you're supporting yourself.
And that's awesome. Sunshine didn't have the script for our Give Me Five, but she did cover a couple of those.
And just speaking of that, how do you hope your story kind of inspires other students like yourself to keep it pushing? Like, what would your legacy be?
I hope that I inspire people to try to better themselves mostly, and try to be kind, try to push people out of their shells. There's a lot of bad things like in life. Just try not to be one of those.
Oh, I love that.
I do too. Put on a shirt.
She got snatched right now. We're going to coin that. So if this whole journey, like higher ed, personal, all the things, right, was a playlist, how do you think you would like set that up? Or what's the first song on there? Give it to the people.
Probably Over and Over by Rio Romeo, because it's never going to be easy. It's going to feel repetitive. It's going to feel like you're not going to be able to make it. But at the end, you still get to go to the next song.
Period. Should end the episode right now. Like,
I want to know what's on your playlist. What would the first song be?
People Like Us by Micah Tyler. It's a Christian song.
Okay, praise it.
Yeah, like it just talks about like all different walks of like people that have been through the most, or even if you haven't been through anything, like God still lets us, and He's still there to help us walk through this. Like,
don't love that.
yeah.
I love this guest segment that we have. We're going to keep it going all season long. I love having guests now. So we're going to thank our guests, and we're going to snap y'all on out of here. So here we go. And I want to say thank you to Brianne, and thank you to Sunshine. Thank you for coming here for Equi-Tea Talk. Bye. They were just absolutely amazing, weren't they? I cannot wait to see who else we have next here on the podcast on next week. But before we, steep into what's brewing here at BCC, can I just highlight the bags? Honey, let's get into this, because this makes me very un poco loco, right? Is the reference right?
Un poquito loca, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
honey. And mine's just a little black cat moment here for you. I don't know. I just love a bag moment. I just want to highlight
Black
the
cat in
bags.
their lives, girl.
Yes.
Like,
Well, it's very Sailor Moon. That's what it is. Let's
love
just
that.
get into that. But here, cheers to you to a second
I
episode.
grabbed mine from the side. I'm sorry. I wanted you guys to see her face card.
Cheers to you.
Cheers to number 2.
So as we do keep going with this episode, we're going to steep into more serious conversations and fun conversations as well. We're not a bore podcast here.
Right. We're going to talk about what's brewing.
We have a great time here. We have a great time. But what's brewing here at BCC? I hear that we just got the lockdown on the Hispanic Heritage Month event.
Literally right before this taping. September 24th. Make sure you save the date. It's going to be in our Performing Arts Center. We're going to have a lot going on. We even locked in a little folklorico group. So if you guys want to,
I don't get here. I know I have some things in my closet too. I think I have a folklorical skirt.
Wooden shoes and all.
I don't have the wooden shoes, but I definitely have the skirt where I can just like do the twirls
Right.
and the. I just love a good moment. You ever just vacuum and just pull out your folklorical skirt? Is that just me? No? Okay, I guess that is just me.
It might be.
But I hear Anchor Wednesday's doing well.
Mm-hmm. And we had our first one August 20th. It went really well. Thank you to CTE as well as our Black Student Union and the Learning Resource Center. They actually legit had like a mobile library where students could, it was all curated. Our Black Student Union helped pick out some of the literature, and you could literally check out text like right then and there. So it was really awesome. There was a crafty chica book, and like the little icon legit looked like your girl. So we were unofficially saying that Crafty Chica's doing a signing in the fucking It was super awesome. Our next one is going to be September 3rd, again from 12 to 2 in the B Building Amphitheater, unless it's like super hot outside. We obviously don't want students and staff melting. But so far, we're good for that. The theme's going to be break barriers, kind of like this episode, build careers and accessibility. So we're going to have our disability services access out there. Our Black Student Union is pulling up once again, career tech, so CTE again, as well as our Active Minds Club. So it's going to be pretty diverse little group of folks. And yeah, make sure you come by. It's going to be really awesome. We have like little minute 20 games. Last time around, CTE actually brought a welding simulator. So students were able to go and like simulate welding, like live learning at Anchor Wednesday. So we're going to have a lot of stuff like that throughout the entire academic.
And I just remembered the committee that we chair, the Pride Planning Committee, we're actually going through with our Pride for Progress series again.
Yes.
So our first one is actually in September, date and time and location TBD, but it actually is going to start in September with myself and your faculty, Patricia Lara, who teaches sociology. Mm-hmm. So, faculty and us are coming together to kind of get this series, give it a go again. And I think we had such a great response the first time around. I think we're going to keep going with it.
Yay, that's awesome. Yeah, we actually have a lot for Pride for Progress. So definitely stay tuned. We're going to be releasing all the promo for that once we lock in some details. So
love a promo.
Moving forward, I know you guys peeped that little donuts bag that we had last time around. I had to showcase a new bag today, but our next Donuts with the Dean is going to be happening September 16th from 12:30 to 2 p.m. Again, B Building Amphitheater, unless it's like 110 degrees and we're not.
Please remember my strawberry.
No, literally, Yvonne watched the episode.
Did she?
Our vendor watched the episode and texted me on the side like, okay, jelly-filled, pink sprinkles, got it down. So we about to bust down all kinds of donuts, coffee, cocoa, Toto.
So what's your favorite donut? Put it in the comments. Let us know, because if we're going to still continue with Donuts with the Dean, let us know. So maybe we didn't include a bear claw.
Right.
Maybe we didn't. What's the with the apple?
Apple fritter.
Apple fritters.
Yeah.
I love it.
We want to be data informed, y'all. Even when it comes down to the donuts, that's how much we care. And then we also had our Shades of Sisters application. So again, that cohort that's providing wraparound services. I like to refer to it as like a warm hug on campus, like Bree and Sunshine were talking about, right? That community, full circle help. We're taking applications until the 31st. So if you did get accepted by the time this drops, please check your email and make sure you're coming to our fall information orientation.
Fall in formation, like Beyonce?
Yeah. You know me.
I was about to say, I see what you're doing.
I slide it in there every chance I get.
If you can slide, this is for faculty and staff, if you can slide the beehive in any of your programming on campus, just do it.
Right.
You can't go wrong with it.
I'm locked in. I'll help. I'll volunteer. Got to pay me at that point. Anything with a beehive.
So this was such a fun episode with you and our guest today. Yeah. And also, we actually based the content of this podcast, of this episode, on what your feedback was. So again, spill the tea with us. Use that link in the description.
Right.
It's in the description, right?
Should be.
It
was last time.
So it will be in the description. Let us know what you want to see. Right. Maybe there's a topic you'd like to hear, because we're basing all of our content based off of what you tell us.
Maybe there's somebody that you want on the podcast, or you want the tips tweaked, or whatever topics, etc. Like, we definitely want to hear from you, because This is our project, our podcast, not just ours.
And we're not just going to have these full episodes. We're going to have smaller segments too, to where, what's our next small segment?
I'm actually super excited for this.
Patio pizza with the president.
It might not be on a patio, but yeah, pizza with the president. The paisano. We're going to be making literal pizza.
With our president.
Yeah, Dr. Ava Bag. She has Italian heritage, so we thought we would take advantage of that and make some pies, you know? We're really excited. That was a terrible accent, but...
Quick question for you. You have to answer very quickly. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Yes, absolutely. And if you don't think so, what's going on? Like,
I love how you answered right before I wasn't even done with the question.
yeah, pineapple goes on pizza because I knew where that was going. And honestly, if you're a pineapple hater, you got to try it for real. Because I feel like a lot of times people say that and they haven't even ate it. It's just like a thing,
It's like it's fruit on a savory meal. Like, no, try it.
Right.
Try it.
Try it.
Try it.
We probably are going to do that if Dr. Bag's not down, but we might. Who knows? We also have our next full episode. Regular episode. We're going to be talking about transfer. So from BCC to anywhere, the possibilities. We actually have an alumni coming. So we're super excited for that, as well as our counselor that's in the transfer center. So yay, we're super stoked.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of good content. And again, tailored to what you guys want to hear and see.
So until next time, keep sipping, keep brewing. This is the Equi-Tea Podcast.
Peace.